pity the kid used as a go-between to communicate on behalf of his separated parents. I remember this 8-year-old lad I was interviewing, and high conflict, separation, divorce. I asked the lad, does one or other parent ever ask you to take messages to the other parent? And this little 8-year-old boy, his eyes open big like saucers, like, how did you know? And you know, he nods his head. Yeah, they do ask me that. I said, so when a parent asks you to deliver a message, what is it that one or other parent is asking you to say? He says, well, you know, both my parents want me to tell the other one when to pick me up and where to pick me up. And I say, well, do you do that? And he looks at me kind of sheepishly and kind of nods his head, yes. And so I wonder what's going on. So I ask him, why do you look a little sheepish? And he looks at me and says, sometimes I forget what the message is. Oh, really? You forget what the message is? Well, what do you do then? He says, well, sometimes I don't tell the other parent, or sometimes I make it up. And you know, he's looking around. Are my parents going to learn about this? And I say to him, well, what happens next? He says, well, then they fight about why I wasn't where I was supposed to be. I said, well, what do you do then? He says, I just duck. What a dilemma. You know, when you're asking a child to deliver messages between separated parents, first of all, they're a child. Children, they don't remember this stuff. It's not their business. They don't want to be caught in the middle. And heaven forbid that child experience the consternation that's generally directed towards the other parent, towards themselves. They're afraid of that consternation. They don't want to be blown away. They don't want to be unloved, so to speak. So this is a very, very intimidating practice from the eyes of the child. From the eyes of the child, it's like, oh my goodness, please don't be doing this to me. I don't want to disappoint either of you, nor do I want to be complicit in your conflict because I'm going to feel miserable, yet I can't tell you because I don't want my head chopped off either. Don't use children as your means of communication. Don't use them as the messenger. It will never bode well for that child. Look for other strategies. There are so many other strategies out there, whether it's another adult, email, voicemail, text message, online communication programs for separated and divorced parents. There's a number of other strategies. If you do use any of those other strategies that can result in what we call a permanent record, be mindful of how you communicate. That can come back to haunt you as well. Always be respectful. And let's get our kids out of the middle.